Good afternoon. Today, this is part 2 of this video series where we're going to look at why the AQUAS heater may not give an adequate amount of hot water. So from part 1 we've removed the lock switch, we know that's not the problem. So the next potential issue could be something to do with this power button or eco button, and what we need to do first is to check the position of the eco button. So if the button is in the out position, we know that this is already in a lower power mode, and we simply need to push the button to make sure that it's level with the cover, and this is in the higher power mode. If in the higher power mode the heater is still not giving an adequate amount of hot water, then potentially the micro switch that is behind the eco button housing could be faulty. And in order to check the micro switch, one simple thing that we can do is we can put our finger on the eco button, hold it into the recess, and if there is no hot water coming from the shower, we know that the micro switch is faulty. So we're going to assume that the micro switch is faulty, and I'm going to show and explain how to change the micro switch inside the heater. So again, before we start, we need to go inside the heater, so let's cut the electric supply to the water heater for maximum safety. So let's remove the cover. And here you can see the micro switch that sits behind the power button. And we're going to assume that this micro switch is faulty. So before we start removing the original micro switch, when we involve changing anything with some wires or have to remove some wires, it's probably a good idea to have a smartphone handy so that we can take a quick photo just to remind ourselves exactly the position of the wires. So now I think we can go ahead and remove the micro switch, which we undo these 2 screws at the top. So now we've loosened the micro switch, and we just have to disconnect these 2 live wires. So the one that's on the front is running to the heater coil, so we just have to disconnect that wire, and then the bottom one is running directly from the micro switch to the behind, the rear part of the micro switch. So we're going to change the micro switch. Let's get a new one. So here we have a new micro switch. So we just have to refit the wires back in the correct position. So again, the one at the rear comes from the micro switch below, and this one comes at the top, and now we can refit the screws into the micro switch and screw it back to the heater. Screw. It's never so easy, it's always a little bit of a fiddly job. Okay, so the new micro switch is now secured in the heater. So now we can safely refit the cover. To the heater, and we can again push the eco button fully in, and we can now test and make sure that we have hot water to the heater. So that was again an easy solution to change the micro switch to resolve the problem of hot water. Hope that helps. So please check out any of our further fault diagnosis and repair videos, which you can find on our AQUAS website at www.aquasshower.co.uk.